Hello, I'm Sean Towers, and welcome to Behind the Book. I want to clear something up before we get going because this issue confused me for years. Is the Bible true? And where did the Bible come from? They may seem like the same question, but they are totally different. The first one is a question of faith, and that's between you and your faith. We're not going to touch that in this book. The second one is a history question. Who actually wrote these books? When? And who decided which books were going to make the cut and which books were not? See, that's not faith. That's a paper trail. And that's what I'm going to walk you through right now. For all the years that I preached the gospel, I would stand in the pulpit and no one ever gave me this information. I had to dig for this information and it took years. So you are in a good position because I'm going to share with you what took me years to learn concerning the Bible that I thought was inspired by a God. So think of this book or this series as the stuff I wish someone told me back then. The same basic facts that a first-year religious studies student learns on day one. So I've kept it short on purpose, 10 short chapters, about an hour of your time. I'm not trying to bury you in footnotes. I'm trying to arm you. Each chapter ends with a few books that you can go and check for yourself. Because I don't want you taking my word for any of this. Go verify it for yourself. With that being said, chapter 1. Chapter 1 begins with two different types of questions. Here's something I noticed when I stopped preaching. People studying the Bible in a seminary versus people studying the Bible in a college religious studies course, they're both actually doing two different jobs. Now, what's interesting is that they're doing two different jobs, but reading and studying from the same book. You see, seminary starts with the answer already picked out. God is real. And here is the book, the Bible, that carries his authority. And then everything gets studied backward to make it fit. Now, I'm not personally criticizing that because that is literally what faith is, but it's not history. College religious studies programs don't start with an answer at all. They study the Bible the way you should study any old book. Who wrote it? When? And in what language? And most importantly, how do we actually know this? No assumptions about God at all. So why nobody told you this? Most people never hear any of this because it's not what gets preached every Sunday. Pastors train at seminaries, and seminaries make their teachers sign a statement that agrees with personal beliefs associated with the seminary. A professor at a secular university, on the other hand, does not have to sign such paperwork, nor do they have to agree with any statement of faith. And so that one difference changes everything that they're willing or allowed to say out loud. And I want to be clear, I'm not just some agnostic making this stuff up. Serious professors at universities like Yale, Harvard, and Princeton also uses this type of approach. And plenty of them hold personal faiths like Christian, Jew. Professor Bart Ehrman is probably one of the more notable names in this space. But you also have Catholic scholars and Jewish scholars all coming to the same conclusion. So nobody worth their salt in academia is saying that the Bible is fake. But what they're saying is real people wrote this over hundreds of years for real reasons, and we can see it in the text. So remember, faith asks, what does this mean for me in my faith? But history asks, what actually happened? Now, is it possible to believe both at once? Yes. But what you can't honestly do is pretend that the history side does not exist. And let me clarify what I mean by most scholars agree. When I say things like most scholars agree in this book or in this series, what I mean is that there are those who put in real research time and study into the subject matter. And we're talking about published research, not some YouTuber, and not a seminary teacher who had to sign a statement of faith in order to do their job. So when scholars actually disagree with one another, I'll tell you that too. So there's real authentic intellectual debate in this area. And I'm not just going to give you one side to try to win an argument. I'm going to give you the truth, the facts that you yourself can go and verify. Oh, one more thing. None of this is designed to turn you into an atheist or cause you to walk away from your faith. It's designed to give you the facts that your church probably have not given you and probably will never give you. Facts that have been sitting in university libraries for over 100 years, unchallenged. This concludes chapter 1, and here are 3 recommended readings for your personal research.